August 6, 1945. At exactly 8:15 in the morning, a single bomb exploded above a Japanese city. In less than a minute, tens of thousands of people were dead. By the end of the year, more than 140,000 would be gone. One flash of light turned an entire city into fire. And in those few seconds, humanity entered the nuclear age. This is the story of the bombing of Hiroshima, the war that led to it, the weapon that made it possible, the people who suffered it, and the decision that still divides historians today. By 1945, the Second World War had already become the deadliest conflict in human history. Around 60 million people had died. Entire cities across Europe and Asia had been reduced to rubble. Germany had surrendered in May 1945. But in the Pacific, the war between the United States and Japan was still raging. American forces had fought their way island by island across the Pacific Ocean. Battles such as Iwo Jima and Okinawa revealed how fiercely Japan was willing to fight. The Battle of Okinawa alone caused more than 150,000 deaths. Military planners feared that invading mainland Japan could lead to catastrophic losses. Some estimates predicted hundreds of thousands of American casualties and millions of Japanese deaths. But while the war continued on the battlefield, a secret project was already developing a weapon unlike anything the world had ever seen. In 1939, physicist Albert Einstein warned the US government that Nazi Germany might develop an atomic weapon. This warning helped trigger one of the most secret scientific programs in history, the Manhattan Project. The project employed more than 130,000 people across the United States, the United Kingdom, and Canada. Its mission was simple in theory but terrifying in practice. Split the atom. Release the energy locked inside. And turn it into a weapon. On July 16, 1945, scientists led by J. Robert Oppenheimer tested the world's first atomic bomb in the New Mexico desert. The test was called Trinity. The explosion was brighter than the sun and equivalent to over 20,000 tons of TNT. Watching the blast, Oppenheimer later recalled a line from the Bhagavad Gita, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." Two bombs were soon prepared for combat. A uranium bomb called Little Boy, and a plutonium bomb called Fat Man. Their targets would be Japanese cities. The decision now rested with US President Harry S. Truman. American leaders hoped the bomb would force Japan to surrender quickly and avoid a devastating invasion. But the decision was controversial even at the time. Some scientists argued that demonstrating the bomb without attacking a city might be enough. Others believed the shock of its use would end the war immediately. In July 1945, the United States and its allies issued the Potsdam Declaration, demanding Japan's unconditional surrender. Japan did not accept the terms. Military planners then selected several possible targets. Among them was Hiroshima. At the time, the city had about 350,000 residents and served as a major military headquarters and logistics center. It had also been largely untouched by previous bombing, meaning the effects of the new weapon could be clearly observed. Shortly after midnight on August 6, 1945, a B-29 bomber named Enola Gay took off from Tinian Island in the Pacific. The aircraft was piloted by Colonel Paul Tibbets. Inside the plane was a single weapon weighing nearly 10,000 pounds. The uranium atomic bomb known as Little Boy. The plane climbed high above the clouds and flew toward Japan. Below, the city of Hiroshima was waking up to what seemed like an ordinary summer morning. Children prepared for school. Workers headed to factories. Hospitals began their daily routines. Earlier that morning, an air raid warning had briefly sounded. But it was soon cancelled. Most people believed the danger had passed. They were wrong. At 8:09 a.m. the Enola Gay reached Hiroshima. The target was a bridge near the center of the city. The bomb bay doors opened. At 8:15 a.m. the bomb was released. For 43 seconds, it fell silently through the morning sky. Then, about 600 meters above the city, it detonated. The explosion produced temperatures of several million degrees Celsius hotter than the surface of the sun. Everything within half a mile of the blast was instantly vaporized. The fireball expanded rapidly, destroying buildings and people in an instant. A shock wave moved outward faster than the speed of sound. Winds near the center exceeded 1,000 miles per hour. Across the city, fires ignited almost simultaneously. Within minutes, Hiroshima had become a burning wasteland. Above it rose a massive mushroom cloud nearly 60,000 feet high. The destruction was immediate and overwhelming. An estimated 70,000 to 80,000 people died instantly. By the end of 1945, injuries, burns, and radiation sickness pushed the death toll to around 140,000. The city's medical system collapsed. Most doctors and nurses were killed or wounded in the blast. Survivors wandered through the ruins in shock. Many suffered terrible burns. Others experienced symptoms doctors had never seen before. Hair fell out. Internal bleeding began. Radiation sickness slowly claimed thousands more lives. Those who survived became known as Hibakusha, meaning explosion-affected people. Many faced discrimination for decades due to fear of radiation-related illness. On the same day, President Harry S. Truman announced the use of the atomic bomb to the world. He warned Japan that if it did not surrender, it would face a rain of ruin from the air. But the war did not end immediately. 3 days later, on August 9, a second atomic bomb Fat Man was dropped on Nagasaki. Around 40,000 to 80,000 people died there as well. On August 15, Japan finally announced its surrender. The formal signing took place on September 2, 1945, aboard the battleship USS Missouri. World War II was over. Hiroshima did more than end a war. It began the nuclear age. Within a few years, the Soviet Union developed its own atomic bomb. A global nuclear arms race followed. At the height of the Cold War, the world possessed more than 70,000 nuclear weapons. Enough to destroy human civilization many times over. Today, several countries still possess nuclear arsenals. And the debate over Hiroshima continues. Some argue the bomb saved lives by preventing invasion. Others believe it was an unnecessary attack on civilians. Even after 80 years, the question remains unresolved. Today, Hiroshima is a thriving city of more than 1 million people. At the center of the city stands the atomic bomb dome, a preserved ruin marking the site of the explosion. Every year on August 6, people gather there for a moment of silence. A reminder of what happened. And a warning to the future. Because the bombing of Hiroshima proved something humanity had never known before, in a single moment, we gained the power to destroy ourselves. The question now is whether we will ever use it again.